Hey everyone, welcome to the day of quest. Today's quest I wanted to go over with you is for new players, some for my server, some for any server that's Cobbleverse in general. The goal here is to kind of cover a lot of what you might want to know as a new player, such as tracking down specific Pokemon, what's my best start, what do I do when I'm looking for gym leaders, anything like that. So what I want to go over first is specifically for our Cobbleverse server because we have a custom spawn zone for any of our players that are going to join in. And I kind of want to give an idea to them as to what the layout is, what features to look for at the spawn zone that you guys can utilize for yourself. And then we'll go into more of general tips for anybody playing Cobbleverse after that. So first, I know I've touched base on this in a previous video. This is one of our spawn zones that we've created for you guys. We wanted to give you something dynamic, something that really catches the eye when you first log in, and we're hoping that this does that for you. Now, when you spawn into this world, the initial Minecraft world that you're in is limited to 30k by 30k in terms of block range, and that's because we want this to be where you build your base. So the home server with the spawn location is going to be what we refer to as a home server. You're going to find somewhere you want to settle down. You're going to start to build your base. And then there's not really going to be a whole lot to explore since you are limited to that 30k radius. I did want to go over here, one of the first places in our spawn zone. This is what we call our loot world. This is going to teleport you to a brand new world with a different seed. And that's a much larger world where you're going to be able to explore, find Pokemon, find gym leaders, find legendary structures, all sorts of things like that. This loot world resets roughly monthly. We might increase the reset time on that depending on how populated the server becomes. On average, right now, we have about 20 people online at any given time, which is a really good number, but we'd love to see that grow. So don't hesitate at all if you're thinking about joining us to stop in and say hi, see if it's a place for you. So this is our loot world. There are a few other portals here I wanted to go over. Back here, you're going to see a portal that will take you to the Nether. And then one more portal over here that will take you to the end. Now, the one thing I do want to mention is every new player that joins our server, we give them a Master Ball and we give them a Pokénav. I've touched base on this also in a previous video. The reason we do that is legendaries can spawn at any time, as well as ultra rares or shiny Pokemon, and we want you to have the opportunity to be able to capture that very first one if that's what you want. However, I do want to give a word of warning with that. When you enter the end for the very first time, you're going to complete a quest called the end. What that's going to do is it's going to spawn a shiny Rayquaza in there for you. This is a one-time chance for you to capture this. It's triggered off of that quest. If you leave the area, the Rayquaza will despawn. If multiple people go into the end with you at the same time, and all of you are brand new, you're only going to see one spawn. So please just be careful going into the end. If it's your first time or if you're joining with a group of friends, make sure you're going in one at a time, capturing your Rayquaza with the Master Ball if you choose to, and then the next person comes in. If you don't want to capture the Rayquaza with your Master Ball, please be prepared before you go into the end with a handful of other Pokeballs that you think you can capture Rayquaza with. Now, there are other things in this village. A lot of these buildings are just for decoration, but we do have some functional vendors over here. This guy right here is going to sell almost anything you need in terms of Pokeballs, potions. He does sell some of the mob drops since we no longer have the Minecraft mobs in here. They're all Pokemon mobs. The way you're going to go ahead and get some of those drops are by defeating Pokemon or by purchasing through here. Now, everything in here is going to cost Pokédollars. Pokédollars are earned by beating gym leaders, beating other trainers, and selling some items throughout the game. Like I stated, you can see some Pokeballs here, some potions. We have our vitamins to increase EVs if you wanted to do some EV training. We have some experience candies in case you're having troubles leveling. And our end game item is going to be the silver bottle caps. This is going to raise the stat of one of your EVs all the way up to that number 31, which is the perfect. Over here, we have a few other NPC traders, not trainers, I'm sorry. These guys, depending on which one you talk to, they're going to sell you maps that will lead you to the gym. So we have Kanto, Johto, and Hoenn currently. Depending on how quickly Cobbleverse updates their game, there might be additional regions down the road. I do want to mention one more thing regarding the trainers. You're going to have a Pokemon trainer card when you log into the game that's going to show you a level cap. I believe you start out at level 25. If you did go in and catch your Rayquaza, that's great. Super happy for you. It's a fantastic shiny. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to go in and get it, but it is level 100. And if your level cap is 25, you cannot use Pokemon over level 25 in gym battles and trainer battles. So just keep that in mind when you're gathering Pokemon in the wild, because you are going to come across Pokemon that are higher level than what your cap is. And you just want to make sure that you have proper levels when fighting those trainers. So if you do have your Rayquaza, just go ahead and put them in your PC when you're going to fight your first gym leader. Now, as for other things that new players outside of our server can look for, I did want to touch base on the PokeNav and a few ways to target hunt Pokemon. And what I mean by that is if you want to go for a Torchic or a Ditto or any other Pokemon, I want to give you the tips that you need to find that Pokemon the easiest. First thing, like I said, is going to be the PokeNav. That's going to tell you what biome you're in. Right now we're in a plains and it's daylight. 1:55 in the afternoon. It goes up pretty quickly, time. What you can do is you can go ahead and craft different types of curry. If I want to go for, let's say, a Torchic, I have my Drought Katsu curry here. And if we want to figure out what we need for that, I'm going to go ahead and just type in curry down here. Expand that. And we're going to find that Drought Katsu curry. Each curry is going to be requiring different components to craft, but they're all pretty simple. For the fire curry here, we want a potato, an oca berry, a red bean, and some spice mix. Now these two berries that are going back and forth here, it means you can use either of those and you're going to get the same results. So what this food does is it attracts Pokemon of a certain type. We're choosing fire. It's going to give you 5 minutes of increased chance to find fire Pokemon. Not every Pokemon is going to turn into fire, but you have a higher likelihood to find fire Pokemon. So if we go back into my nav here, we see Torchic's 11.83% chance if an ultra rare is going to spawn. If we go ahead and consume the food, you're going to notice in the upper right hand corner, there's a food buff. It shows me fire. You can stack food buffs, but by doing so, you're going to lower your overall chance of finding the target Pokemon you're after. Let's say I wanted Torchic, who is now a 14.8% chance. If I go ahead and eat some normal food, let's see if I have any on me here. Do I have anything for normal? It's the egg, I believe. We can see that Ditto is now, instead of, I believe it was 11% before, now it's 0.74. Because what happened was all of these fire-type Pokemon got raised. Well, now if I eat the egg, we're going to notice Torchic lowers down to 12.98, but Ditto is also increased to 12.98. So what I recommend doing is one food at a time for the Pokemon you're hunting. I recommend a large biome because the fastest way you're going to be able to track these Pokemon is flying around. Let me find a flying Pokemon here. We're going to grab my Gengar. Gengar I like as a Pokemon because his head doesn't get in the way when you're flying on him. You're just sitting on his shoulders. And what you're going to do is you're just going to fly around all over the biome, and once the current Pokemon on your minimap there despawn, I want you to wait a few minutes because it is going to take some time for Pokemon to spawn into the zone. And if you're hunting these Pokemon, you really want to let them spawn. If you're stuck in a smaller biome, let's say you found a plains, this one's not that large. The other option other than flying around is to simply battle every Pokemon in here, defeating them, and that's just going to force new ones to spawn. The positive sides to that is you're going to get some mob drops, depending on what you defeat. is going to change the overall drops that you're going to receive. So let's just walk around here for a minute. We can see there's a Ponyta. We're going to run into more fire type as well as normal type, like I had stated. Since we're using 2 foods at once, Torchic's chances of spawning have decreased. But we should see a handful. I'm going to get off the Gengar for the sake of the video, though, here, and just run around. I have my minimap keybound to tab. So I was going to show you expanding the minimap, but I got disconnected there. And I'm not sure what happened, but that's really all I had set for this video today anyway, is I wanted to go over the spawn location that we have in our server, as well as a little bit of how to target track a Pokemon. There's not really any other way to increase odds of finding other Pokemon. You need to find the biome that the Pokemon you're looking for are in. If you're not sure which biome that they are in, while you're in game, hit escape, click on the wiki. That's going to bring you to Cobbleverse's main page. And the developers of Cobbleverse have done a great job laying out a really nice, helpful wiki page for everybody. It's got an entire section on where each of the Pokemon are, as well as special items. So there's a few different pages. One is for all of the Pokemon individually. I would suggest holding down the control button and pressing F on your computer, which is going to bring up the find function, and then just go and type what you're looking for. They also have a page for special items. These are held items that might help with evolution, might make a Pokemon stronger. Rusted Sword, Rusted Shield are an example for Zamazenta and Zacian to give them their hero forms, I believe it is, where they're wielding the sword and the shield. You can use the wiki to find where those items are. Now, it's not going to tell you the coordinates in-game because every Minecraft world is a different seed, but it's going to tell you the biomes that they are in or the structure that you need to locate to find them. If you do have any questions or any concerns, if you want to drop a comment, let me know what next quest you'd like me to go over. I'd be more than happy to hear it and make a video for that. But until the next quest, guys, we're going to mark this one as completed, and we'll see you in the server. If not, hopefully you enjoy your time in Cobbleverse. Take care.